What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday night. You know what that means? It's the Twilight Heat Ratio Sports. I'm Dave Gleckner, talking golf betting, taking a last shot at this field. You know what? I love going late just before the opening round of a tournament because you just get the latest news, you get the latest odds, you get the latest trends. And one of the big news, Webb Simpson just withdrew, adding Hayden Buckley to the tournament. So I'm sure Webb was kind of up there as a favorite as he won a few years ago. So he would have been someone that we definitely eyed up, but now we don't have to think about it and we can move on. And that's what happens when you're golfing late at night. As always, got to start off with a little refresher. We're going to talk about this course real fast. Waste Management, Phoenix Open, played in Scottsdale, Arizona at the TPC Scottsdale. Little history. Been out there. I got to play it once. Not like last week when I only was at the Farmers and walked it. This one I actually played. Had some history going out to Scottsdale earlier in my life, watching some spring training baseball. Haven't been to this event. It's one thing on the bucket list for sure. As they get over not last year because of COVID, but the year before that, had over 600,000 fans attend this event. 200,000 just on one day on Saturday. It is the People's Championship. It is crazy. It is wild. And one day, your boy will be there. But let's talk about it. Waste Management Phoenix Open, measuring in about 7,250 yards, average length, not too long, little short side, but with the 71, it makes sense. You know, some articles I've read, it can stretch to 72, 61, even near 73, depending where they put the tees. But what you need to know is the Bermuda greens. The greens are historically faster. Nice 12 and a half on the stimp. And it's known for their hazards. You know, 8% of wayward tee shots do end up in the hazard here. They got cacti. They got, you've seen some famous shots. You've seen some guys take some big scores. They do have some water in play in some places. Look, if you're driving this, straight, accurate, no problem. But just beware. Some big numbers could happen if you're a little off the mark. Past three winners, guys, Koepka last year, Simpson year before, we've already talked about him, and Fowler the year before that. Hideki had a back-to-back earlier in 14-15. So big names tend to compete well here, play well, win these tournaments. Stat to know, every one of the past 10 winners had posted a previous top 10 in a desert event. So guys that play out in the desert, guys that play in California, play out here, play in Nevada, Reno, tend to do pretty well when we talk about the Waste Management Phoenix Open. What happened to my bad? There he is. There's my boy. My boy's back. I'm showing up just like him today. We got someone checking in here real fast. No, we don't. It didn't come in right, but that's all good. All right, let's get into the picks. Here's some things that I looked at when building my model. Par 4 scoring. Not a lot of, I got this from, a guy online. He writes for the Vincerics. It's a great site here. Trying to pull it up, give them some props. But one of the things that we looked at, Vincerics.com, Vincerix. Par 4 scoring isn't something you fall in love with. But out of the past winners here, you actually got some good, correlation to that scoring. The average winner was at least 17th or better in par 4 scoring. So that was important to me when running my model, and I did weight it a little heavier. Other thing here, Phoenix Open, we tend to end up with approach shots between 150 and 200 yards. Really like that kind of metric. You got to split it up into 150, 175, 175, 200. I also looked at strokes gained approach from fantasynational.com, looking like stroke gain approach was the highest correlation to a winner over the past 5 years here. So I wanted to look at that over the last 24 rounds. And then finally, strokes gained putting. I put only a little bit on it, but I want to see who's hitting Bermuda, who's hitting fast, who's hitting firm, and looked at that as well. And what did we pop out? Popped out some good names. And I'm pleased to share with you where I'm leaning this week. As I spoke, almost hit one last week. Pebble, I was looking well. Had Seamus Power really dialed in after the first 2 rounds. We're like, here we go. Even after the third, had a chance on Sunday, but he really faded. When he didn't take advantage of hole 2, one of the easiest on the course, pretty much knew it was over. But here we are, a new day, some new bets, a new tournament, some new winners. We're going to start off with JT. Look, JT is amazing. Right now, he's second in strokes gained on par 4s. And I'm sorry if you hear some balls bouncing in the background. We got basketball competition going on behind me. But with that said, JT, second in strokes gained on par 4 scoring, second in proximity to the hole from 150 to 175, 18th from 175 to 200, and even better, fourth in strokes gained approach over his last 24. All those hit. Where he's not hitting is in the putting model. He's 94th on Bermuda in his last 24 on fast ones. But hey, I weighed that lightly. JT runs right in here. I'm loving his form. He finished top 3 just recently in 2 out of his last 3 tournaments. I think 14-1 is really good value with one of the best players in the world. Look, remember last week when Cantlay sitting there 6-7-1? Not going to bet him. Rahm 8-1. Don't like those numbers. But you start tempting me at 12, 13, now 14, I'm in. Give me some JT action. Love myself some JT this week. Plus, I think JT has that personality to really play in this type of tournament with this type of crowds and this type of energy. I think he's going to feed off it. Really looking forward to seeing how he does perform this week. I love his chances. Viktor Hovland's my second. He actually ends up number 1 in my model. Strokes gained approach 7th, but par 4 scoring 15th. So he still fits that model. He's at least 17th or better. Proximity hole from 150, and then he's 8th. So all this stuff that I like. Hovland, as we know, has won 3 of his past 5 tournaments. How can we not like that? I know it hasn't happened really on this soil, but it's going to happen. Where he struggles is around the green. These greens aren't too challenging, at least the areas around them. If Viktor Hovland can have a day around the greens, he's going to have a really good chance to win this tournament. Next up, Scotty Sheffler. Scotty, looking at the numbers I like here, he averages right about 20th in every area and comes out 6th in my model. Scotty's due to win one soon. He was 7th at this tournament last year. Let's get some action on Scotty. I can't help but think a 20-22-1 is good value with Scotty Sheffler because he's going to get one soon. And last year he was close here, one of his closest chances. So he's comfortable. What was really odd about Scotty is recently his strokes gained off the tee has been really poor. It's actually been negative in 2 out of his last 3 tournaments. Last year, he was +5 strokes gained off the tee. So he sees these lines well, +5 strokes gained off the tee here. So I really think this course is going to fit him well, and he's going to be in it come Sunday. And then lastly, Sam Burns, 30-1. He's sitting there 10th in the par 4 scoring over the last 24. So again, he fits the model, and his other areas strongest can be 11th proximity from 175 to 200. Sam Burns let me down a few weeks ago when we were playing out there at the Farmers Insurance, but I think he's poised for another, a return to prominence. He's going to be in this tournament. He's been popping top 20s 8 out of his last 9. So give me some Sam Burns, 30-1. I like that action. My other plays real quick here. Daniel Berger, top 10, +240. Listen, I want to play Daniel to win. I just don't know about his back. So where do I just kind of put a safety net around that? I'll play him at the top 10 +240. We know Daniel's game is strong as can be. He comes out 2nd in my model. He's 1st strokes gain approach over his past 24 rounds. And that's just what this course is. It's a ball strikers course. Guys that bomb it off the tee, it works. It gives them a little more advantage to shoot their wedges in. But guys that lay back, we look at this similar to the Sony Open. You can have an advantage laying back if you're comfortable from a distant 150, 160. Daniel Berger, he can play this course, and he's striking his irons real well. The health is the concern. So let's go top 10, because even if he fades a little bit, even if that back doesn't hold us up, but he finishes the tournament, I think top 10 is good value. Luke List, top 20. Keep striking it, Luke. You're 1st overall in strokes gained, par 4 scoring over the past 24 rounds. How can I not take you after dropping me that big 80-1 the other week over there at Torrey Pines? I'll take you in the top 20 with +210. Love it. He has some good course history here too. Matchup. Love Aaron Wise over Ricky Fowler. Aaron Wise, good value, has played very well here, has finished in the top 20 in strokes gained approach in his past 15 tournaments. I just really like Aaron Wise's game. I like him over Ricky Fowler. I just never know where Ricky's going to be. He's performed well here, but got to prove it to me. Give me Aaron Wise over Fowler, -130. Lance, Aaron's got to miss the cut. I went back and looked as far as I could go, which was back to 2015. I've never seen Scott play here. I tried to find any other data. I don't think he has. So with that said, I know he's very good at Riviera, and that's what's coming up next week. He's won there 2 years ago, and we love that course for Adam Scott. But I'm not sure we love this one for him. I think the energy and not being able to play here, not being real familiar, and we already talked about it earlier, people that play in the desert, people that are familiar with this course or this style of play, this energy in the crowd, do well here. And this is a new tournament, new venue. Now, I know Hovland's only played here once and missed the cut, but it's a little different because he played well out in Dubai. Scott, I'm not loving it. Give me the plus 210 odds for him to miss the cut here. We'll take a peek at him next week. Call this a tune-up for him. Maybe getting out the Riv a couple days early may not hurt him overall. So with that said, that pretty much wraps up the show for tonight. Nice little quick 11 minutes here. Drums couldn't make it. He'll be back next week. He's out doing big, good things for the network for himself as we talk Super Bowl. I'll be back on air with him Saturday morning to talk all those prop bets for Super Bowl, the Bengals versus the Rams. And it's going to be fun. Betting for breakfast, as always, on the Sharp app, followed by Heat Ratio on YouTube as well. But that's it for tonight. Let's cash some tickets. Let's get some money so we have a little extra to play with come Super Bowl Sunday. Until then, I'm Dave Gleckner for Heat Ratio Sports, the Twilight Rate, where we talk all things golf betting. Let's cash some tickets.